Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel, Ticking Together. My name is Carly, and the goal of this channel is to provide education about and bring awareness to what it's like living with Tourette syndrome. In today's video, I will be talking about how I hid my Tourette's from everyone I knew. Just a brief disclaimer, when I say everyone, that excludes my mom and dad and my brother because we lived in the same house, and that would be impossible to hide it from them. You're probably thinking,
you can't hide Tourette's. The tics are too noticeable. It's literally a disorder that causes you to make crazy movements and sounds that are not normal.
so how would people not notice? Well, it took a lot to hide it. And honestly, looking back at it now, I regret not telling anyone, and I wish I would have been more open and honest with myself. For those of you new to my channel, I was diagnosed with Tourette's when I was 12, and when I heard the diagnosis, I made a pact with myself that I would not tell anyone, unless they had to know. At this time, I was going into junior high, so grade 7, 8, 9, and it was a new school, and I was not going to tell anyone. I did not tell my school that I had Tourette's. I was starting a new school with new people. I just wanted to be as normal as possible. So I told myself and my family, we kind of made an agreement that I would not tell anyone. I didn't want anyone to know. Throughout elementary school, I was bullied a lot, and I just really wanted a fresh start at this school. So I thought it would be the best idea to not put a big target on my back saying, hey, I'm different and I'm weird. The crazy part about this story is that my tics were really bad in junior high. I had just been diagnosed and they were getting really awful, and I just didn't really know what to do about it. I couldn't sit still half of the time, and I was constantly developing new tics, and they were very noticeable. So, how did I hide my Tourette's from everyone? It wasn't good, but I would go the whole school day without ticking. I would just focus solely on not ticking. I would spend the whole day holding in the tics. When I had to tic, I would go to the bathroom stall and let out my motor tics and quiet vocal tics because this was the only place I felt comfortable enough to do so, which is pretty sad. After I was done ticking in the bathroom, I would go back to my classroom, sit there for as long as I could until I had to go back to the bathroom to do more tics. Luckily, in junior high, I had about 6 teachers, so that's like 6 different classes, so I kind of planned it so that every class I would go to the washroom once. So the teachers wouldn't be suspicious, they wouldn't be like, what is she doing? I would just make sure once per teacher, and that was kind of like my little life hack. So I would go the full day from 8:30 to 3:30 holding in my tics from people. I would hold in the big tics really easily, like my back tics and my arm tics, my neck tics, and my leg tics, just because I could redirect them, which is really shocking because I had just been diagnosed, but I was really trying hard to not let people know. And when I really want something, I work at it until I get it. If I had to do any tics during the school day, I would redirect them into really subtle tics like nose scrunching or flicking my wrists just kind of at my side so no one would see. Basically doing things that people wouldn't immediately notice. I was really embarrassed about my tics, and I got really good at hiding them when I needed to. For example, while jerking my arm, I would kind of like brush my hair at the side and just kind of do like a little jerk while I was doing that, because like even just like this, like no one would really bat an eye at that. It looks kind of silly now, but I thought I was like top-notch cool. When I jerked my back, I just pretend I was kind of stretching. It was kind of like, you know, people normally like stretch their back like that sometimes. I did that. I tensed my legs when I was sitting down at my desk so no one would notice that. Things like jerking my neck and blinking my eyes were harder to conceal, so I did those in the bathroom. I didn't want to have any special attention on me, I just wanted to be normal. I think during the 3 years of me being at that junior high, I told one person about my tics and my Tourette's because I just couldn't keep it into myself any longer, and luckily they didn't tell anyone else, so I'm pretty sure it was just me and her that knew about it. I hid it from everyone else. The teachers, the principal, the students, no one knew. After the school day would end, I would go home and my tics would go crazy. These were the times in my room I could just let them out like crazy, so I did. I'd go to my room and just let them all out, often hurting myself because my tics were so severe. And this went on for the full 3 years of junior high. I just didn't tell anyone. Looking back, I don't know how or why I did it. The pain it caused me to hold in my tics was far worse than it would have been just telling people, and I regret it to this day. I would walk the halls of my junior high in so much discomfort holding in my tics because I just didn't want anyone to know and I wasn't being myself. When I'd get home, my tics would be worse because I'd spent the whole day holding them in. It was just an awful situation all around and I do not recommend it. When I'd go out in public, it was the same thing. Unless I was certain that no one was looking, I just would not tic. I would hold them in and I would tell myself, this is what you have to do, Carly. It hurt my brain and my body, and honestly, like, the urges got so strong that I was just like focusing so strongly on not doing it and not focusing on anything else, and I lost a big part of me. I made myself not give in. Mentally, that was exhausting, and by the end of the day, I didn't even have time to enjoy myself. Going to the mall, going to the movies, going for a walk, going to family functions, whatever it was, I just would not allow myself to tic. And this was so bad for me. I remember at family functions, I would find a room in my aunt's or my uncle's house and just stay in there the whole time ticking, and I was just so scared and I didn't want anyone to know. And these people were my family. I was just so embarrassed. Hiding it from my family, that sucked. I really wish I would have been more open about it. Sorry, my camera died, so if the angles are different, sorry. But I really wish I would have been more open about my tics. I really do. Because those of you with Tourette's know how hard it is to hold in your tics. It's like you're holding back on being a person. I felt like I was a walking robot, just making sure I was doing everything that society wanted me to do and not moving the ways that I felt were necessary. I'd like to think I'm kind of lucky for being so good at holding in my tics, but if I could go back and change anything, I definitely would. I would have told my school so that during exams I could have had some kind of accommodation instead of just sitting in a room packed with students, focusing so hard on not ticking instead of focusing on the exam material. I will make another video on it, but school was the absolute worst place for Tourette's. And I wish I would have told my family too, because they're some of the most supportive people I know. I have told a lot of them now, but I wish I would have told them when I needed it most. Bathroom stalls were the only friends I really had, and I wish I would have been myself so I could have actually made real friends. Even though to this day I still hold in my tics, at least I'm more comfortable talking about it. It's been a really rough go having Tourette's, but I would say to you watching this, if you have Tourette's, if you know someone with Tourette's, or if you're just watching this for the heck of it, please be yourself. That's all I'm asking. I lost so many years of my life being sad over my Tourette's and just hiding, and I really wish I could reverse it. In hindsight, I'm sure a lot of people did notice my tics. I honestly wasn't that good at holding them in, so I'm sure people in junior high and my family did know. And that's okay, because now I'm posting this video for the world to see and I could care less. And that's okay too. I'm on the road to accepting my disorder, and I appreciate all of the support while I get there. If there's one more thing I want to leave you guys with in this video, it is just, like I said, please be yourself, because if you don't, you most likely will regret it. Because me spending all of that time trying so hard to hold in my tics to get people to like me, it backfired, and I didn't make as nearly as many friends as I probably could have if I was myself. So if you're watching this out there with Tourette's or without Tourette's, just be who you are, because I promise you it is so much more worth it than hiding behind some mask. I guess that's the end of my story of how I hid my tics and my Tourette's from everyone I knew. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of the support I'm getting, and I would love it if you left a comment saying hi or telling me what you want to see next, because I would love to hear from you guys. I would also love it if you could give this video a little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more from me. Thank you so much and have a great night.